Hi, Andy. It's Steph. I was just listening to your podcast, and I was wondering if your recordings, like that you play in the beginning, are real or if they're staged. If they're real, will you play this one so I know? Just kidding. Love you. Hope you're having a good day. Bye. Say hi to Uncle Andy. Say hi. Hi. Bye.
Hi, Andy Frasco. It's your talent booker, Mira Davis. And happy 2022. Been getting all your messages on how you want brand name, big guests, big followings. You want to get all the guests. And by the way, your new setup looks really great. I have to commend you on that. But listen, if you want big names and celebrities and big guests, please don't let your promo video be about your fucking cum drawer. Like, yeah, hey, high-end LA publicist, go be on the show. Take a look at Andy's socials, and there's a minute-long bit about your cum drawer from high school. I mean, what the fuck? Dude, get it together. You're disgusting.
Is that good? What's up with the clap? Snap don't work? See that? My name is Eric Benny Bloom, and this is how to make it in the music industry in 2022. Huh? All right. Let me tell you something. You know what I mean? All right? You don't want to just come around like you know what you're doing. You got to be humble. Tell you something else, all right? Come sit in my fucking gig. Don't show up late. I tell you to sound good. You sound like a fucking moop. You're fucking out of here. Let me tell you something. You know what I mean? Don't bring no fucking friends. I don't want no guests. Please bring fucking extracurricular activities with you. Let me tell you something else. Make sure you come with some booze in the pocket, maybe a couple straddles, and bam, you're in. Tell you something else, all right? If I want you to come play with me, don't be at my fucking green room. That's for me and my people. If I see you down there, I'm gonna fucking smack you on the side of the head. Fucking, let me tell you something else. If I tell you to come and do your best and you sound like a jerk or you look like a fucking asshole, still humble. I will never let you sit in with me or my friends anywhere around the city. So let me tell you something else. Do yourself a favor. Make it nice, all right? Let me tell you something. I'm going to ruin your name around the whole fucking town. Let me tell you something else. You're fucking out of here. You're fucking out of here. Still humble. You're fucking out of here. You know what I mean? Huh? All right. You're coming in, this is Eric Benny Bloom, and I'm telling you everything you need to know about the freaking music industry 2022. Where you at? How you done?
Clapped it. And
all right, here we are. Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast.
who's the bass player on that album?
Matt Romero.
Sounds good.
Up down.
I like how he's playing that.
No. Chris Lorenz wrote this bass line.
I like how he's playing that. It sounds good.
Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco.
Hey.
How's our heads? How's our hearts? Are we staying out of trouble? Are we not letting the fucking COVID fuck us? Jesus.
I've been good.
I've been good too. I've been raging. I've been going out.
We know. We talked about that last week.
How's my getup? Do I look Colorado?
You look a little too Colorado. I don't know. You don't have you got to have even more ski gear. Here we go. Here's the
It's
reason
like my
everybody.
Mr. Rogers.
Hey, make sure you get that in the first 30 seconds. So new people immediately switch to something else.
What's up, Nick?
You look a little Colorado. You're not that Colorado. That looks like something a freshman girl gets her first week at UC Boulder. CU Boulder. You can't go skiing in that. It's not heavy enough. You go skiing?
No.
Have you ever skied?
No.
Snowboarded?
I've snowboarded a couple times, but I was like...
They have it in LA, right? There's mountains there.
I'm not good with speed.
We'll just leave that there.
Oh, man. Another week around the sun. Man, I had a fucking great weekend. We got Dolov in town. Dolov's in the building. We're going to get Dolov on the show. He's been at the house. Yeah. He was supposed to leave yesterday. He's like, fuck it. I'm staying another week. Let's go.
He's a fan favorite.
Let's go, Dolly! Dolly's in Denver. Let's go.
We got some new artwork. We got Kobe Bryant on an Arby's beef and cheddar over here.
He's on a Kobe burger.
Oh, I've never heard of that. That sounds
Kobe
good, though.
Burger beef?
Kobe beef is good.
Yeah, it's fire. Salkin gave me that yesterday.
He likes to give you gifts.
I love that guy. Jeremy Salkin is such a good dude.
Extremely likable.
Dude, I love it. We got a lot of things we got going on. Today's a big show.
It is a big show. Freddie Prinze
Jr. Welcome us.
So hot. I love that guy.
I wish we had Freddie when we had the studio, but I had to do him on a Zoom before we even thought that this was going to be a vision.
It's still a great interview.
I'm stoked on it.
He's interesting as hell.
I did not know about the WWF stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Thought he was just going to be an actor doing his thing.
What a cool job.
Dude. I don't want to ruin the cover of it, but it's such great. It's such great. He's a big podcaster now, and he does his podcast is WWF. But it's a hot dude. Pull up Freddie Prinze Jr. Have you seen him recently?
Yeah, he's hot right now. Let me find a picture of him.
Find a picture of him. Freddie Prinze Jr. is like Benjamin Button. He just keeps getting hotter and hotter, dude.
You know why? He's got a clean.
Look at this. Freddie is not aging. You got the wiki one. Put him on Tonight Show.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'll just download it.
I love it. Just zoom in on the.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Freddie. Damn. Freddie's hot. Is that not a hot guy?
He's 73 years old. I'm just kidding.
Damn.
That's what happens when you get married young. You stick with one woman. You come home every night. You don't go out drinking. Yeah. You don't go to hibachi on a Monday. You know, that's what you look like in your 40s.
But it's crazy. Like his dad died.
Mm-hmm.
He was a comedian.
Yep.
And then he was basically kind of raised by Chuck Norris.
I didn't know that.
Dude, in LA.
What a father figure to have.
Dude, he just stayed hot.
He's good.
He wanted to always be like a jiu-jitsu or Brazilian fighter when he was a kid.
I could see that. He looks athletic.
Yeah.
He played a soccer star and she's all that.
He had a great story about that. I don't want to ruin it.
Let's not ruin all the stories.
All right.
Remember, you didn't know how hot and famous he was, though, because you were probably 10 years old.
Yeah.
He was the guy, man.
I thought he was hot when I was 10.
Yeah, but he was super famous. He was at the top of Hollywood for his demographic.
Yeah. What was she?
Him,
he was in
Heath
She's
Ledger.
All That.
Yeah, and he was in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Really?
Both of those.
Oh yeah.
And he's in the Scooby-Doo movies. He's done way more than
and
you think.
Star Wars. He was the voiceover in one of the Star Wars cartoons that blew him up. He said he was like,
that's a good gig right there.
hell yeah. Dude,
Voiceovers?
shout out to fucking Freddie. Making dough.
How do I get in that
Let's
world?
go, Freddie.
I want a voiceover gig.
I want a voiceover gig too.
Yeah.
In a time.
Yeah.
When
You might have to do a different character than that guy. They already have those. I'm trying to think of what would be a good.
What would yours be?
Me?
Yeah.
Some sort of dry, boring character. You'd have to be some sort of neurotic
I don't
child.
think they tell you. I don't think you could say this is my tone. They're like, all right,
Yeah,
can you be
no.
happy with your low voice?
No, I think you have to have a lot of range.
Speaking of hot guys, you didn't know any hot guys?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I was thinking about your Freddie Prinze thing about how you didn't know anything about how hot he was.
Yeah.
And he's forgotten, sort of. And I was thinking of some other forgotten hot guys from his era.
Like
I want
what?
to see if you remember them.
Hold on, what?
Well, one of them's a little later.
Wow. What is?
I have it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
This is a real show. You're preparing things now.
Yeah, I'm a very busy guy. I have a lot going on. Okay, they're not all from the 90s. Okay, so remember this guy?
Zoom in. Put it in green.
Okay, yeah. Remember this guy?
Oh my God, yes.
Matt Lillard.
Hold on.
From-
What movies? He was in Scream.
Yep. Well, he was only in the first Scream.
And, oh yeah, because he died.
Well, don't spoil it.
Oh, sorry.
It's 30 years old.
30 years. What else was he in? I've seen these eyes before.
He's in a movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. Do you know? It's about baseball.
Oh, Perfect Catch?
No, close. One catch is correct.
Summer Catch. Oh
Also,
my God. I fucking love
Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
They tried to make her a movie star. It didn't work, did it? Didn't work
No.
as good. Seventh Heaven was her thing. Beverly D'Angelo's in that. Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh, fuck.
Not the best movie, but it's pretty fun.
Hold on. This guy's hot, dude.
He's
What
also
would you-
still on TV. He's on that one show.
This guy's still hot?
He's still pretty hot. He kind of reminds me of Ryan Stasick a little bit.
Oh, he's got he's got hot eyes.
Okay, but I want to go to a more 2000s.
All right, who you
hot
got?
guy. Yeah, he's got those deep eyes.
Stacey's got deep eyes. They just go right
They're
through
both
you.
like 6'4" too.
I know. God damn it. Well, I want to know what it's like to be hot your whole life.
You're
Holy
asking the wrong
shit.
guy. Look at that though.
This guy is Friday Night Lights. I remember the Panthers.
I love that show.
But this guy was always hot.
Clear Eyes.
Every movie. He was
Taylor Kitsch is his name.
He was on another show where he was like Romeo boyfriend-esque.
Oh, I don't know that, but he's also in a bunch of movies. He plays Gambit in the X-Men movie.
Really?
He's in a bunch of stuff like that. Pretty hot.
Look at that guy.
I think he's a big guy. That helps, right? He's got the deep eyes. They're never looking at the camera.
Why is everyone in the 90s, their hair is so greasy?
Here's a younger.
Oh my God.
Where'd this guy go? Dude, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Jonathan Taylor Thomas got the check and dipped.
That's Jonathan Taylor Thomas on the right?
I feel like he just got his whatever X million dollars and is like, peace, Hollywood.
Is he smoking a vape?
Hell yeah, he is. He's Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He can do what the hell he wants for the rest of his life.
He looks like a fat Christian Slater.
What do you what do you think his net worth is?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I want to look it up.
Home Improvement. That's a big ass show.
Also Lion King.
Lion King 2? He was in Lion King? Oh, fuck. I'm going to say 60 million.
No way.
Oh, no way. 60 million. I'm saying 60 million. This guy, 2 residuals.
16. It says.
Oh.
And that's from Celebrity Net Worth. How could they be wrong? It's the first. It's the first thing that comes up.
Why are they always dogging our boy Jonathan Taylor Thomas? Look at this photo they have for his
He looks
network.
strung out. He looks like he's been hanging out with you for 3 days.
But he looks like 15. Just strung out.
He was 15 at one point. We all were.
It'd be so weird to be a childhood star.
Hard pass for me.
Oh my God. That was my dream. I was in The Jersey. Remember that show?
What?
Remember the show on Disney, The Jersey?
I didn't watch any Disney growing up, you rich kid.
No, because you're fucking old as fuck. You're 40.
We had Disney.
No.
Disney has been around since the 1930s, bro.
Not Disney Channel.
Yes, I bet Disney Channel's been around since like 1980.
Google it. I doubt it. I think it was in the 90s because I was jacked up. And I was like an extra in the show The Jersey, and I would play the flag football guy. And I thought it was awesome. I got paid $500 bucks.
There were Disney shows in the 80s.
What?
Yes, like remember Dumbo and all that stuff?
That was a movie.
No, Dumbo Disney show.
Use your mic.
I can't do that. Dumbo Circus, 1985, and that was a Disney show.
Oh.
I don't know, but then there's like look, it says original network, the Disney Channel, 1985. It's older than you think. Disney's been around for a long time. They've had a monopoly on this for years. I don't like any of that. You know, it's like Disney, like if these people that are like in their 30s and they go to Disney together.
Yeah.
There's no kids with them.
Yeah.
What's that? What's going on there?
I don't get that either.
I don't know. They're called Disney adults. Have you heard of them?
Do you think Jonathan Taylor Thomas is fucked up?
No, I think he's like, the fact that he hasn't done anything in 20 years in Hollywood makes me think he's probably doing great.
Yeah.
He's got a $16 million according to Celebrity Net Worth.
I'm down with
The
that.
first
I'll
search
take
engine.
16 milli.
You could live off that. And then
feel
he's
like
just, just chilling. What do you,
Of course you could live off that. I live off of fucking
1.6.
top rock. What's my net worth on there?
I looked it up once. Hold on. I'm going to look it up again.
What? They really have my net worth? Like, how much do they think a jam musician makes? What?
It's on YouTubers.me. It says your worth is between $626.
I can't see it. What? How much?
626 and 3.76K.
That is bullshit, but also I like that.
A little high? What's the mortgage like on this place? It says you've made $5. Actually, this is true. It says you've made $5 in the last 7 days. That probably checks out.
$5.
This might be just off your YouTube stuff.
Oh my God.
I saw one another time.
Do you think girls look up my net worth and say, oh,
No.
fuck that?
I don't think anyone thinks that you're famous enough to be listed online as having a net worth. Weirdo. God.
Oh, I'm such a narcissist. Wow.
You are. I'm starting to realize you are more of a narcissist than I thought. I blame your mom. We've been over this. And she loves you so much.
She loves me. She sent me, did you see what she sent me? Those cards? She's
No.
like, just in case you're having a bad day, here's like 200 spiritual cards that'll keep you having a good day.
Did you read all 200?
I started reading a couple of them. Dolov read a few.
I feel like you're her hobby or something. That she does. Besides gambling, I guess.
Besides gambling and she likes slots and Andy.
Andy, and then kind of yelling at your dad, but like in a fun, playful way, right?
Yeah. I had to think about that. Like they've been married
100.
close to 50 years.
That's so long to be married to someone. Every day, Bruce Frasco.
Every day, Bruce Frasco.
I don't know. I just can. He's your dad, so I can imagine.
My dad's cool. He's like me.
He's cool, but there's got to be a lot.
He just works a lot, and then he's like really loud. Like I get loud in public sometimes. You know,
yeah, a little bit.
I've stopped doing that as much.
At the Lawrence show, you were pretty quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about like. This is going back to the narcissist thing, I guess, but
yeah, usually does.
It's something about not ruining someone's moment.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that me walking into a room is like, oh my God, everyone stop. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying like when people are on stage shining.
No, I get it.
It's like a heckler. I hate fucking hecklers.
Well, yeah, but like in comedy?
Yeah.
Do you get heckled ever during your shows? I don't think so.
A couple times I swatted down.
You guys are so loud. It's like, for a comedian, it's got to be the worst.
But like hecklers are such assholes.
There's people that think they're like supposed to heckle. You know that?
I just don't understand hecklers.
What about people? Did you have fun sitting in with Lawrence the other night? What was going on there, buddy?
Oh my God.
The first half of it, you looked like this one time.
I was nervous.
You looked like this one time, the first time, like when you first got up there, like this one time I was 6 years old or like maybe like 3 years old and I got lost in the mall. And I'm pretty sure you had the exact same attitude and I wandered off in JCPenney into the mall.
Yeah. And that's, I was nervous because, you know, like it's like hyping. I'm just hyping. That's not even a sit-in. I'm just like hyping.
What was going on there? And then they had you kind of conduct, but the band didn't. I don't think they knew what you were going to do, so it didn't really.
Well, they pulled me up doing the cha-cha slide in summer camp.
Oh, okay.
So I thought we were doing that, and then I kind of like
you look so
curveballed and said, "I'm going to conduct the band." I texted Clyde right before I said, "Hey, I want to conduct the band," but I didn't know that those guys are just on a set program.
Right.
So I'm
really?
like trying to break it down, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No, but they're on a set program to get to the next song.
Right.
So they're like,
it's on
there's a kick drum.
on a grid.
Yeah, it's on a grid, and I'm like hearing it in my ears. And
they have tracks? I didn't know that.
They don't have tracks, but I think they have like
just that one.
They just want to keep it tight, so they have
okay.
metronome for a drummer and shit.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
So it was just so crazy, and then I got nervous. So then I just started dancing really fast. Someone got to pull up the video. I was so frightened.
Is there a video of it?
There's got to be, but I don't think it's anywhere. I think I tried to get that out of the world.
Yeah, I tried to get it on YouTube, featured on CNN, but I couldn't. I've never laughed because, you know, whenever I sit in, it's very professional and very good, you know? That's more my thing, though.
But that's how, then I get in my head. I'm like, I got to have a good sit-in. So I called Taylor Scott the next night. I'm like, I'm sitting in.
And then you
cool?
left.
And then I left because I got too drunk. I can't
Is that what happened?
I got too drunk. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this.
You didn't seem that drunk. You were all quiet. I guess you get quiet.
I get quiet now when I'm drunk.
And you had a girl with you, so you're trying to be normal.
Yeah, and I'd like, but I was like, because I was on a date, I was at 6 vodka sodas deep.
Hell yeah. You weren't even hanging in the green room. You were out in the crowd like a weirdo.
Yeah. I like being in the crowd.
You do?
Sometimes the Denver hang downstairs, backstage.
Overwhelming.
Is overwhelming, or but it's like everyone has their own circles.
It's really weird.
It's a crewy. Feels very crewy.
High school. It feels like high school.
It feels like fucking high school at the backstage.
Me and my friend, I won't name who it is. We make fun of it a lot.
And I'm like, I don't want to waste my night just like trying to like get in a circle.
Yeah, and it's never any good conversations going on. It's just the most boring stuff you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah. So I go in the crowd. I go dance with the crowd. You know, I'll get in there.
Those people are generally more fun.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah. The
Plus,
problem
you like
is
when people recognize you.
Yeah, I like it. I do.
You do.
But I like just having. I'll just get like drinks.
Yeah, you like to do that.
Send me shots and shit. I'll be like, fuck yeah, I'll drink with you.
Plus, green room hangs can be so lame.
Green room hangs are a little weird.
Especially, it's like all the people that aren't on the gig that are the ones that are annoying and lame.
The most weird ones are the collab shows where there's like 6 different musicians and they're all doing a super band thing.
Like the thing I do a lot?
Yeah, and then there's like 10 musicians who are downstairs
that want to be on the gig. Or like, can I sit in maybe? And they're like, they're not asking, but they're around, you know? God, it's a little weird to me. The social dynamics down there in that basement, I've seen a lot go on. I would love to do like a National Geographic, like narrate like David Amber on the corner. You know what I mean? Now look at the up and coming guitarist as he hovers around Eric Krasno while he has a conversation with someone else, waiting for his moment to tell him how much he's influenced him over the years. Very careful. Oh, Andy has his girlfriend with him. You'll notice he brought his girlfriend to help break the ice because she's rather attractive.
Bravo.
Yeah.
That's exactly
what happens.
That is exactly it. And then it's like the guys who always get booked for the shows.
Yeah.
In one circle. Like,
me and Gabe over here, like, go away.
You're in the far back.
We're like trying to learn tunes that we're playing in an hour, and people are like, how's it been?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm literally practicing right now.
And the downstairs Cervantes green room is kind of like an L shape. So like you could turn left a little bit, and then there's like a group of people just hitting like a fucking dab or something.
Yeah. And then Scott Merle's in the corner just like, yeah.
Yeah, he loves
having
it.
the time of his life. I love that guy.
I love it too.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing, the green room.
Yeah.
It's hard. Your green rooms are a little more, it's all like one kind of person at your show. It's like Andy Frasco fans and Andy Frasco and Floyd. The weirdest person of all time. He got some songs in a TV show or something. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's kicking ass.
Who knows? Who would have thought that he could send an email?
I know.
You know?
Yeah, we're close of, I think we're pretty close of having, I don't want to jinx it, but
Go
one
ahead.
of Floyd's songs on the new record
Oh.
might make a movie.
What movie?
Can't say
The new
that.
Tom Cruise vehicle?
I don't want to jinx it.
Just go live.
You got one more hot guy before we move on to Freddie Prinze?
One more hot guy. Most underrated hot guy in the jam band scene.
Who?
A guy I like to call Joel Cummins.
Wow. You're putting Cummings in the 90s.
There's no G. It's Cummins.
Cummins?
Look at that body. I know he works out every day. I've done a bunch of gigs with him.
Joel is hot.
Another thing, hot dad.
Hot dad. Yeah.
Cool wife. Just like, I mean, you know,
Joel is
underrated
hot.
hot guy. Look at those sunglasses.
Joel's like nerd hot.
Yeah, but that's still hot.
True.
Women love nerds.
I know.
Not me. I don't like nerds. We've been over that. But he's nerd hot.
He's
you know,
cool.
nerds. You know, nerds have money.
What? Big.
I don't know if Joel's rich, but
Check Joel's net worth.
okay.
Let's see how much money Joel has.
I hope it's like. I love checking.
I love checking. We should check.
1.5 million.
Let's go, Big Daddy.
That actually.
Let's go.
That actually.
1.5 milli for the Joel man.
I actually believe that one. Actually,
I do too. He lives in Venice. He's got a sick life.
he's had a great band for a long time. He's smart too.
Yeah, Humphreys has been killing it for a long time.
He's not the kind of guy that would blow his money.
And he
you know?
feels like a saver. But also,
Because like 1.5 million is not like that much.
weren't you telling me like
He's
Joel
not
does
22
like
years
he's
old.
like he's part of the business side too.
I think he does a lot on there over there. Yeah, he used to play with Cosby Sweater all the time. We would do like Cosby Sweater with Joel Cummins.
he plays. Oh, he wrote a book too.
Yeah, it's like how to be successful in the music industry. I want to.
Hot nerd.
I want to. Yeah, I want them to make a movie version of it.
I love Joel.
What do you-
Me and Joel have beef.
No, you don't. I don't think you do. About what? What did you do? First of all,
know.
What did you do to be in beef with Joel Cummins?
That
Because
would
there's
be
no way
fun.
he did anything.
I've always wanted to have. He came up to me at
Joel's funny, actually.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. He might be joking.
Joel is very dry. He does that thing I do where he'll say something and make it seem like he's being honest, and it's like total weird thing,
Yeah.
but it's not real.
We're at like a little party, and
What,
Joel
in Mexico?
in Mexico, like at in like some big hotel room, and we're just shooting shit. I'm having a beer, and I was already fucked up. I took acid
Okay, I mean,
like
all these layers
4 or
keep-
5 hours ago, so my eyes get dazed out when I'm
Yeah.
like talking, and you've seen that where
Yeah, I've
I'm
been
just
there.
like I have a blank stare in my
Yep.
eye, but I'm paying attention,
yeah.
kind of.
As much as you just pay attention to anything that isn't your phone.
So, but when I was on mushrooms and acid, and I took a little MDMA too, so I was just kind of like,
yeah. You're in Mexico.
yeah, I was in Mexico, and then, but the Frasco glare was in my eye, and I'm
It's more
asking
like
him
a.
like,
You
so
fade
tell
back
me
into
how's
yourself.
it going out there in Venice, and like it was just like talking to him, but then he's like, he was talking, he's like, do you even care?
He's just messing with you.
I'm like, yes, I care. I'm so sorry. I'm just really fucked up.
He's
Joel.
100% just messing with you. It's Joel.
I know.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Very
and
funny.
He's got a beautiful family.
Yeah. He's got everything
His
we
daughter's
don't
beautiful.
have.
He is a good
He
guy.
doesn't need a podcast to make himself.
I think maybe why I'm bitter is because I want him to be my friend.
He'll be your friend.
So I love Bayless and Stacey.
He
We're
listens to the
homies.
podcast sometimes.
But Joel, I think me and Joel have like,
You and Joel have more in common than you think.
really?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, shall we listen to Freddie Prinze Jr. act all hot and shit?
No, because we have to tell him about Repsi first.
Oh, yeah. Repsi,
Got him.
our sponsor, our fearless leaders.
A sponsor.
Bands.
Are they in Joel Cummins' book about being successful in the music industry?
It better be in the fucking 2.0 one.
Epilogue.
Because Repsi is really helping bands. Sign up for Repsi. If you're in a band, if you're a comedian, if anything you want to do. You want to do anything? You want to throw apples and shit? We're gonna make a profile for you. So sign up for Repsi.com, and it's easy, and they'll help you find gigs. That's what we need right now. We need to build the community back. We need to get people out of their houses for a little bit and show them that music is still fucking relevant, baby.
Yes.
Right?
Repsi.
So sign up for Repsi and get your band out there so we could swarm the world with new music, and the Renaissance is coming. We're all going to get out of this fucking pandemic.
You think so?
I do. I feel like slowly, once people aren't scared anymore to be themselves again, I think the Renaissance is coming.
It'll warm up.
So anyway.
God damn it. Thank you for being a friend.
We're going to have a great day today. Yeah. Rest in peace, Betty White.
And we started from the bottom and we're here now.
We love you. Oh, yeah. We're going to have a great one. Enjoy Freddie Prinze Jr. We got Dolav coming up next, but listen to this.
I like this one here.
I love it. Oh.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, enjoy Freddie Prinze Jr. And we'll be back with Sports with Dolav.
Sports with Dolav. Coming up.
Hallelujah. We'll catch you after Freddie.
It's going to be a good week.
It's going to be a great fucking week. Yeah. All right. Next up on the interview hour, we have Freddie fucking Prinze Jr. Let's go. I'm so excited. I actually had a great conversation with him. Unfortunately, we didn't get this one on video. It was on a Zoom a couple weeks ago. I was on tour, and that was the only time we had it, so we didn't have video for this one. But from all the interviews, we mostly have video besides like 3. But hey, Chris, play something that's play rom-com music or something for Freddie Prinze. Freddie is amazing actor. Has a podcast. He's really involved in the WWF. He'll tell you a story about that. He was in Scooby-Doo. I mean, She's All That. Summer Catch. I mean, Star Wars. What else was he in? I Know What You Did. Oh, I fucking loved I Know What You Did last summer. All right, guys. So stay with me, and we'll catch you on the tail end with more video of me and Nick. All right. Enjoy Freddie Prinze.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
How you doing, Freddie? Wow.
How are you, man? Wow, back to you.
Dude, I know I don't have much time, so my first question is, what is it like to be hot your whole life?
Oh, what a kind thing to say. I'm more used to hearing insults. My generation doesn't throw compliments around as much as yours does. It's more like, hey, nice face, and then they punch you. But no, man, I'm glad my wife still likes me. Yeah. And, I can cook and laugh. So the older I get, I still have those to fall back on. And, so, life's good. No complaints.
No, I want to talk about, your dad was a comedian, right?
Yeah. My dad was big time.
And he passed away when you were 1?
10 months old. Yeah, just about.
Did you ever, what did you learn from the stories of your dad that you see in yourself?
Okay, so our interview is going to be about 6 hours long. Here we go.
I can't wait. Let's go.
So my pops, for those who don't know, you don't have to Google him. I'm not going to. Everyone goes, Google it. You don't have to. I'll tell you about him. He was just a baby. He was 19 years old, and Richard Pryor discovered him in a Chicago nightclub and told his manager, who became my uncle, Uncle Ron. He said, "Yo, man, you got to sign this kid. You got to sign." And so he's responsible for my dad, right? My dad comes on. And Richard gets him at 19 years old, I think it was, or 20 years old on the Milton Berle show. And my dad kills it. And then my dad gets on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and he kills it. And he was the first comic Johnny ever invited to the couch after they did their set. And then that became a thing, right? My dad, to this day, Johnny loved him so much, he took a night off and let my dad host it at 21 years old. Just off that performance, 2 executive producers, David Wolper and Jimmy Comack, come up to my dad. They go, "Freddie, we got a show for you. It's called Chico and the Man." He gets this show. It becomes the #1 show in the country, better than Welcome Back, Kotter was #2. My dad's show was #1. It's with Jack Albertson. Everyone knows Jack from the original Willy Wonka movie. He was Uncle Joe with the hat, right? So Uncle Jack Albertson, we love Jack. He's passed on, but great dude. So they make this show, and Richard hates it because Chico means boy. And it's the 70s, and he's talking to my dad. He's like, you don't let them call you boy? Like, what are you doing for your people? And things like that. And my dad really started hating it. And in the 70s, he took a ton of drugs. He was messing around. He had a beautiful love affair with Pam Grier, but screwed that up. Pam's still a mentor in my life to this day because of the power that he had to charm all these people. And then on January 28th in 1977, he had enough Quaaludes in his system to kill a horse, and he played with a gun, and he shot himself in the head and died. And I was 10 months old. Now, that's a long-winded version to get you to all those people that he charmed literally surrounded me, like circle the wagons, right? The Oregon Trail. And they never let anyone evil infect my life. I was raised by guys like Bob Wall, Chuck Norris, Gene LaBelle.
What the fuck?
The referee from the Karate Kid with the sweet Magnum PI muzzle, that's Pat Johnson. That was my first karate instructor. Like, so all these like legends that taught my dad. My dad was friends with Ali. Ali used to always beat his ass. And so my dad learned how to fight. And one day at Ali's house, they were sparring in Ali's living room, and my dad catches Muhammad Ali with a left hook, and the couch is behind Muhammad, and he falls back on the couch, and his nose gets bloody. And my dad runs to the bathroom, gets a towel, wipes the blood off Ali's face, runs out of his house, jumps in his 75 Stingray, hauls ass home. Ali's called the house twice. My mom answers. He's like, you tell Freddie I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill that boy. Right? Just like trying to scare my mom. My dad frames the towel. It's on crushed purple velvet, the same way you put a war medal, right? Yeah. And it's framed in mahogany. And it says it was right before his birthday, June 22nd, 1975, Ali's blood. And my mom still has it to this day.
I'm going to shout out to that. That's fucking tight, dude. Hold on. This has got to be a trip. So tell me, you basically you've been in the entertainment business your whole life.
None of them would let me until I was 18.
So what did they teach you? What they teach you?
So look, man, I was growing up I was going to the improv, to comedy clubs when I was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. All right. I've seen everything. Like Bud Friedman would take me into the bathroom and get all the actors who were doing cocaine in there out so that little Freddie could go pee. Okay.
Fucking amazing, dude.
So I grew up pretty quick, but again, I had a good circle of people around me who kept me humble through martial arts, which always tells the truth. If you're ever looking to find out who you are, I highly suggest you find a martial art you connect with and train in it.
Right.
But they all let me know who my dad was. I'll never forget my Uncle Ron, who was Richard Pryor's manager, my dad's manager, Prince's manager. He's Fluffy's manager right now. Like, he's a real deal. He walked me through Brentwood, and he took me in front of Marilyn Monroe's house. And he said, he starts telling me about this business and what it can do to people, and what drugs and what the hangers-on can do, and how they tore down this beautiful woman. And a lot of her story is very similar to what happened to your father, and is very similar to what happened to actor A, B, and C. I don't need to say all their names because they got families and they ain't trying to relive that BS. Yeah. But he started breaking it down to me, and he said, never forget, if you get in this business, it's show business. Which word's bigger? Now, when you're a kid, you go business, but you don't get it, right? But by the time you're 18 and you're ready to go and make your own bones and earn your own stripes, you have a much clearer perspective on what this business is than every other person from Minnesota that came to an acting class with me. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
They believed everything that was told to them. I never believed anything. So, my godfather was big on creating what he calls the Omega personality. Sigmund Freud had the alpha, beta, and omega. Yeah. The best way to find out is through a compliment or criticism. So like Kobe Bryant is an alpha. Kobe, you're the best. Yeah, no, he's already decided how he feels about himself. Yeah. Kobe, you suck. Yeah, whatever. He doesn't care. The beta is very susceptible to compliments and criticisms. A lot of artists are like that. Sally Field's Academy Award speech. You like me. You really like me. Like, she didn't believe in herself until that moment. You suck. I suck. You're great. I'm the best. That's the beta. The omega wants to know the motivation behind the compliment or criticism. Freddie, you're the best. What does he want from me? Freddie, you suck. What happened to him that makes him want to say that? And then my godfather was big on that. And so that's who he created when he helped sort of build me, you know, and he's highly responsible for that. Bob Wall, that one you can Google.
Well, I'll clap for him. Clap the ball.
Yeah.
Let's go. So, you know, it's like you talk about, you know, it's like you got in this industry so young and then you talk about getting burnt out from the industry. You know, can we talk about that? Is that when you started hearing your family's advice a little more when you were starting to get burnt out from it?
I think when you're in your 20s and you're getting everything you want. I mean, I was going movie. I didn't have a day off for 2 years. I went movie to movie to movie to movie to movie to movie. I didn't have a home. I didn't see my dogs. I didn't see my family. I didn't see my friend. I would meet new friends, but Kathleen Turner said a movie is like a wedding with a guaranteed divorce. Yeah, you know, in 3 months, you're never going to see each other again. Yeah. And so and she's right, you know, and it started to get hard. And as I got older, a lot of the lessons I thought I knew started to make more sense. And I needed a break. I wasn't enjoying everyone I was working with as much as I'd hoped to. I wasn't enjoying the work as much as I'd hoped to. The press I was starting to get angry with instead of how I used to feel, which was, yeah, this is a part of the business. And show started to become a bigger word to me than business. Yeah. And so I knew I was out of whack. And so I left. I went to WrestleMania, Ric Flair's retirement match. I met a lady there whose name I won't say because I didn't ask for permission. But she said, we were talking wrestling and she was like, you need to talk to Stephanie McMahon. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah. She was like, you need to tell her your ideas. And I was like, okay. I mean, I'm in New York. And she was like, will you take a train to Stanford? I was like, yeah, sure. Let's go check out the Titan Tower.
Is that where the studio is? Or that's where the office is? Holy shit.
In the 80s where Hogan used to work out. Like that was the spot.
Freddie.
So I was like, yeah. I was like, I'll go up there. And so I go up there and I sit with Stephanie McMahon and I'm sharing her some of my ideas. And she says, you need to meet my dad. I go, what? She goes, you need to talk to my dad. She goes, because you don't just crap on the brand. You say what you think is wrong with it, but you have like 10 ideas on how to fix every little thing. She goes, you need to talk to my dad. You won't be afraid to say no. Now she's saying that to make sure I'm not afraid to say no. She's trying to prep me for success. So I go and meet with Vince and I basically get offered the job there in the room.
Yeah, I read that.
And so I go, yeah, that sounds good. I hadn't even asked my wife yet. But again, growing up without a dad, Vince is like heavy psychology, man. The dude called me son. Yeah, and if you call me son, that's like Superman getting hit with the kryptonite. Like, it's just, I got nothing. I got no defense, right? So I was like, yeah, man, let me be a part of the family. So I said yes, called my wife. She called me an idiot, gave me her support. And I was on the road with them every single week at every taping. I didn't miss one. And it was insane. And I couldn't hack it. At the end of the day, I burned out on that too. But I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, man. I had such a great experience there.
You know, I got a couple questions for this. First, I want to go into the psychology of it. So this father figure, did you feel like you've always missed this father figure in your life? Even with all these mentors in your life, you still feel like nothing changed?
But all those men call me son. Like, I hadn't seen Chuck in 15, 20 years, and I saw him at a convention, and I was telling a story to a reporter of when Chuck broke my rib on accident when I was 15. I had just won this tournament, thought I was hot shit, and my godfather was like, oh, I think you're I told you, martial arts tells the truth. He goes, oh, yeah, you should come spar with Chuck. And they lived, I remember where his house used to be. It was on Ventura and Donna. And you go see where Chuck used to live. And we walked down the street and went to his little like dojo in the back. And I had a really good jab, so I could own a lot of like the Taekwondo guys, because back then they didn't work their hands that much. And I could control the distance pretty good. And so I was working my jab, and he was not trying to hurt me. He just threw a baby round kick. But he's Chuck Norris. His bones are made out of something different than the rest of us. And he hit that bottom rib, that like soft rib, and I dropped like a stone in water. And my godfather's laughing, and he just thinks I got the wind knocked out of me. And I'm like, oh, no, it hurts so bad. And then they realize something's wrong, and Chuck's like horribly apologetic. And I'm telling this story, and I hear Chuck literally go, you say it like I killed you. And I looked, and it was Chuck friggin' Norris at the same event I was at. And I got to go give him a big hug. And it's just like, all those guys were so, and Chuck had sons, but all those men were so good to me. And they all had such a major influence on my life. And every time I was in tough situations, like the lessons those men taught me were what got me through. So I give a lot of credit to my mom and a lot of credit to people that were my blood as well. But the lessons those men taught me were real life lessons, and I've struggled so little because of what they showed me.
So I grew up in LA too. I grew up in the Valley, Calabasas, West Hills, and I went to
this was Tarzana.
Yeah, exactly. That's what when I saw the cross streets. So like, Chuck, who was like the most dad figure in your life then?
Bob Wall. Yeah. Bob Wall was the number one guy. Uncle Gene was like the uncle that would give you a beer, right? When you were a kid, only instead of a beer, he would teach you like a judo choke, and then, so he was the cool uncle. Chuck was like the family member that was God, right? Yeah. That was like the lawyer who ran the firm and all that. And you didn't see him as often. And Pat Johnson was like, the blue collar, always there on the Sunday dinner kind of guy, like always there for that kind of stuff. And then Chuck's bodyguard was this dude named Winston, who was like twice as big as Chuck, drove his BMW for him, and Winston would help teach me karate too, man. Winston was he was huge. I'll never forget that guy. I don't know what happened to him, but man, he was awesome.
Why did you decide to have your uncle manage you?
I never had him manage me. Hold on. My computer became unplugged. I never had him manage me because I don't know an actor who's ever had one manager their whole career.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I never wanted to fire my uncle. And I never wanted my uncle to have to drop me for some reason.
Yeah.
So, but don't think for a second that there hasn't been a contract or a business question that I haven't ran by him before I said yes or no on something. Like, that dude is a psychic.
Yeah.
He would literally tell me months with Freddie, this movie's not going to do well. You need to make sure your money's saved. You might, take a little hit for a few months. And I'm just like, man, no way, dude. This movie's going to hit big. And then it hit like come in fourth place on the opening weekend against movies that have been out like a month already. I'm like, yeah, okay, Uncle Ron was right again. I'm going to make sure I save that money. Like, so it was, he's been involved in every business decision I pretty much ever made.
That's a beautiful. All right. So now, okay, I wanted to figure out the family thing because I grew up in LA too, and, overworking, like parents were workaholics. So it feels like you raise yourself in a way, in a sense, in LA because it's just so expensive to live there. But let's go back to Vince McMahon now. Okay. So you got Vince, this dude who's just such a character, and he reminds me so much of these movie producers. What's the difference between working for Vince versus working for, let's say, someone at Lionsgate or someone at...
Sure. This is the easiest. All right. LA has redefined the definition of passive aggressive. Okay.
That's so true.
Like, we all know we can all look in Merriam-Webster's dictionary. That definition no longer applies. LA has managed to bring it to this whole level where it's passive aggression on steroids without any 90s steroid trials. Like, it ruled. There's nothing passive aggressive about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He is the most direct dude you will ever come in contact with. If he didn't like something I wrote, and I'm sitting there right next, I'll never forget this. I did a segment for JBL, and Vince didn't like what I wrote, and JBL did, and Vince rewrote my promo, which is, most people would say is never a good thing. In this case, it was not a good thing.
Right.
And I brought it, and he goes, "You tell JBL to say what I wrote." All right. So I go to John and I go, "Hey," and John called me Scooby for the first 4 months I worked there. And I had to earn his respect just for him to say my name. Right.
Wow.
So I go up to John, he's like, "Scooby." And I go, "Hey man,
call me Scooby." He's calling me Scooby. What the fuck?
Man. It was, dude, you got to earn it with these motherfuckers.
I know, I get it.
Excuse my language.
No worries, bro.
So I show him what Vince wrote, and he's going over it, and what we went over, he connected to what we wrote together, or what I think I wrote that one. He responded to more, and he was not liking Vince's. And I go, "Look, man, Vince said, you got to say this. He wants you to do it this way." So he goes out there, and I'm in gorilla position with Vince, which is just backstage. We see all the monitors. We have headsets on to communicate with the truck, what's going to happen, so they can communicate to the cameraman where to be to get the best shots, right? Sick. And Vince is sitting to my left, and JBL starts going into it, and right away he just cuts the old promo. And Vince is like elbowing me, and he's like, what the fuck is this? Ah, damn it, this is shit. I told you it was shit. And he's going off, and I have a choice to make in this moment, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna eat it. and take it. Because if he fires me, he fires me. I'll go back to, and I go, look, man, at the end of the day, I just thought my promo was better. I believed in it. And this is what we got to do, man. He had 20 minutes to prepare yours. He had 4 hours to prepare mine. Let him be more prepared. No, it sucks. Get the fuck out of here. So I stand up, I shake. I didn't get my feelings hurt ever there. So I take my headset off. I go down. I'm like, all right, man, later. And I walk off. And I guess when JBL came in, he did the same thing and took the bullet as well. And he goes, because Vince was pissed at him. And he goes, Vince, Freddie told me to do yours, but I just, I wanted. And so he kind of saved my ass with Vince, because Vince was like, oh, Freddie took a bullet for the talent instead of like saving his own ass. Yeah. And that got me in really, and then he called me Freddie after that, by the way. So calling me Scooby.
Let's go. There we go. Honesty, baby. That's all you got to do. Honesty.
Yeah. So sometimes lying is good though. In that case, I lied and said, yeah, it's my fault. But it's a very political game there. And I think your job as a writer, no matter what, is to get the talent over and protect the talent.
Yeah.
I don't think wrestling should have writers except for wrestlers that can't write.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of wrestlers that can do their own thing. You should not write for them. That's your voice. But there's a lot of wrestlers who can't. And that's when a writer, I think, is very valuable and important if they spend time together. And I get time to hear your voice and how comfortable you are saying certain words, because those may not be words I'm as comfortable saying, but I still have to write it for you.
Yeah.
So that's when I think a writer can be helpful. But someone like JBL, I think he could probably do it either way.
So what's the difference between writing for like a wrestler and you're writing these, like, you talk about, like, I read in an article where you're like, all right, we need to get these two guys at WrestleMania. And how we get there is, through a year of writing. So what's the difference between writing? Have you ever written a sitcom? Have you written a movie?
Yeah.
So like, what's the difference between writing for a character? The same thing, right?
No, bro, it's so hard.
Really?
Look, I wrote the pilot for my show that got canceled back in the day. So I've written movies, I've written TV shows. So I have a lot of experience in screenwriting. I've written Dungeons and Dragons campaigns, which is a total different beast, right? And I've done well with that. So I got there and I was like, I got this, man. I could write better than any motherfucker here. Like, I was so egotistical when I got there. And then I see how that process works. And if the talent can't execute what you wrote at the level you expect it, is it their fault or is it your fault for not writing for them? And I learned real quick and got humbled, but I'm susceptible to being humbled because of martial arts. Again, like, I'm open to criticism if it's legit criticism that I respect. I ain't gonna take criticism from someone whose advice I wouldn't ask, right? Like, that's my philosophy. I will ask all these wrestlers, do you think what I wrote for you is good? If they say, no, that does not hurt my feelings, I go, then we need to fix this because the showtime's in 2 fucking hours. So, you know what I mean? So
crazy shit, dude. This is crazy shit.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of time to learn. Now, I would cheat sometimes and I would write stuff and I would send it, 2 weeks in advance and be like, hey, in 2 weeks, we're going to get to this promo. I want you to have it in your head. Some things might change, but I just want you to have as much heads up as possible. And sometimes they wouldn't change at all. Most of the time they would. Yeah. And, but I would give the talent as much heads up as humanly possible, because I think, as anyone would, the more prepped you are, the better you'll do.
Who was the hardest person to write for?
The hardest person to write for was the best person to write was Jeff Hardy. And on the road to make him champion, he was the absolute hardest person to write for, because Jeff and I were not friends. We didn't talk. We didn't have any connection. We had never had a conversation, and I was assigned to write for him. I can't book for shit. So Freebird was booking stuff for Jeff, and he's like, we're going to make him champion. I had a lot of momentum behind me for some Undertaker stuff that I had written that Vince liked. He goes, and you're going to write it, and you're going to make it work. And I was like, all right. So the first one I wrote for him didn't click with him at all, right? And I was like, all right, then we need to make some changes. And I'd never worked with him ever. And we got like 30 minutes, man. And so he's like throwing in words like Imagination, which was some artwork that he did. Everything had an I in it, right? EYE. And so he starts doing little things like that. And I pick up on that. It's something that I go, okay, he likes that. He likes that. And he likes talking about the gray area in life. He doesn't see the world in black and white. Okay, I'll take that. And we're just rewriting on the fly, but it was hard as hell. Just finding Jeff in the arena, by the way, takes 2 hours. I went to his brother. Of course, his brother will know. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's probably in the locker room. I knock on the locker room. I try to show respect. I'm a writer. I'm not a wrestler. I want to just walk in there. So I knock, go, hey, is Jeff in there? Hold on, I'll look. 10 minutes later, wrestler comes out. Nah, Jeff's not in here. Okay.
He's in there.
So I'm like, where could he be? One of the female, I think Melina was like, oh, I think I saw he was going up on the roof. I go, the roof of the arena? She's like, yeah. I go, how do I get up there? She goes, I don't know. I'm like, what is going on? This is crazy. I thought they were just joking and like ribbing me. And then finally you find him. And now I'm like, all right, hey man. So at 3:30, it's 3:00 now. We're shooting this and it's 2 pages long. Here we go. So it was hard. But then once we got his language and not my language, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden I was writing those promos. I'm not even joking, in 5 minutes. And it would be word for word. Nobody would change anything. And it was just super. And I would act like it took all week, right? Like in the production meetings and stuff. Because if you turn it in too early, it's going to get rewritten.
Yeah.
And so I would just wait till the day and then but I was literally like just in my apartment thinking about my dad and thinking about Jeff.
Yeah.
And trying to make, if I wanted to make a drug addict and somebody who was suffering with addiction sympathetic, like my dad, I want my dad to be a sympathetic character. I want people calling him a junkie and shit like that. Exactly. I want people respecting his art. So I wanted people to respect Jeff's art and not talk shit about the drugs, but I didn't want to just gloss over that and act like it wasn't real. So that's what I did with every promo was, how do I make somebody who's battling addiction sympathetic? How would I make my dad sympathetic? And that's how I wrote everything for Jeff.
Have you ever battled through addiction?
No, like I said, man, I was blessed and martial arts was my drug, man. I didn't even drink alcohol until I think my junior year in high school. I was like 17 and it kind of like closed my world up a lot. And I didn't like the way I saw the world. So I didn't really mess with that too much after that. And martial arts is my drug of choice. I love jujitsu so much, man. I'm blessed to get to roll with Jean-Jacques Machado, who's one of the best that's ever done. I met this fool when I was 14. I thought I was a hot shit wrestler. My godfather, again, humbling me, Chuck and him had just bought the Machados this awesome school, their first school. And it was on the second floor of the Wall Street Plaza building on Ventura Boulevard that my godfather owned. Yeah. And he goes, well, I'm going to introduce you to this guy. His name's Jean-Jacques Machado. Chuck brought him up from Brazil, and they're grapplers like you, man. You're really going to like him. I go, okay. And Jean-Jacques is probably about 7 or 8 years older than me. So he's in his 20s. I didn't know he had just won the Abu Dhabi World Championships, and not only his weight class, but the open weight class as well. And then I take a look at the dude's hand, and he's got no fingers on one of his hands. They never grew in. So I'm looking at my God. I call him Uncle Bob. I'm looking at my godfather. I go, Uncle Bob, I'm going to smoke this guy. Even though he's bigger than me. I beat guys that were older than me and bigger than me. Like Bob Walt taught me how to train. Like I knew what I was doing.
Right.
And he goes, oh yeah, you're gonna smoke this guy. All right, get on there. I'm not joking, man. In less than 10 seconds, he has me in a fireman's carry, which isn't even jujitsu. That's my shit. Has me in a fireman's carry, stands up, spins me around like a pro wrestler and goes, which window? Like he's going to throw me out a window.
Yeah.
And he sets me down and I'm like Chris Tucker in that Jackie Chan movie where he's
Rush
like,
Hour.
yeah, where he's like, which one of y'all just kicked me? Like I had never seen jujitsu before. I didn't know what it was. This was 1990 maybe.
Yeah.
And so I literally was like, well, how'd you do that? And he's like, through leverage. I go, what's leverage? He goes, and my uncle goes, leverage. And I was like, okay. And so I just got addicted to this man's philosophy on life and the way he looks at things. And I've been rolling with him ever since. You know, when I was working a ton, I couldn't train. And that's when I would get stressed out. So now I know that's something that I need. So I just keep it in my life.
It's fucking great. I mean, you seem so passionate about jiu-jitsu and wrestling. Why did you start acting?
Okay, so when I when I was a sophomore in high school, my grandfather did not like my dad. He never trusted him, and rightfully so. He's like, the guy's on drugs. He's not going to be faithful. He's not going to be a good father. And he was right about all three of those things. So he got cancer. And it was getting near the end. So they put him on hospice, which for those who don't know, that's like when you come home and you're going to spend the last few moments or days, weeks, whatever it is, in like a hospital bed at home with a nurse, right. And you're dying the comfort of your own home. And so he's home, and my grandmother says, her name was Kitty, and she says, your papa wants to talk to you. I said, okay. And I was a good boy, man. I didn't get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I always did what my family told me to do. And I go into his room. It was right across the hall from my room. And he had my old room. I took the small room. And he takes me by the hand, and he was in the Navy. And he had this anchor tattoo. He was on the USS Nevada, by the way, which is the only fucking ship to get away from Pearl Harbor.
Dude.
He was an engineer. He said, he goes, I never saw the war, but I heard every bomb drop, because he just kept a motor running, bro.
We out. We are out of here.
So that's what is. I don't know the superior officer's name, but the guy came in and said, just keep the engines running. And so they did. But anyway, so he had this anchor on his left arm, and he was the strongest son of a bitch I've ever known, man. And he grabbed my hand like that, like an arm wrestling grip. And he says, did you clean your room today? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I'm so proud of you. And I was a kid, and I didn't understand. I was like, okay. I didn't know he was saying I'm proud of who you are and the man you're going to be. Right. I thought he was talking about my room, right? And in the same breath, he goes, holding my hand tight. Your father really fucked things up, and it's up to you to fix it. 3 hours later, he was dead. 3 hours later, he's dead. So that huge backpack gets put on my shoulders. And when I was 18, it was moved to New York or LA. New Mexico was closer to LA. So I moved back to Los Angeles, and I started acting to chase ghosts.
Did that fuck you up though? It feels like that's a heavy. Big time. That's heavy.
Big time, man. Big time. It's hard enough chasing ghosts, right?
Right.
When it's not your dream. Like it didn't become my dream till about 6 years into the damn thing.
Right.
So it's hard enough doing that. But when you're a junior, you're basically a statue built to honor that which walked before you. Right.
Right.
And so you're expected to now. And so my only rule was I'll never do stand up, because I'll never stand on the same wood that my father stood on. I don't want to ever be on those stages. I just always want to be in the crowd. So I've always had a passion for stand-up comedy as a viewer. I've never had any desire to do what he did on stage, but I still go to comedy clubs to this day. Not during the pandemic. They're all fucking closed.
Yeah.
But finally can go back. I've like I said, I've been going since I was 12 years old, man. My dad opened the LA Improv.
Is it hard to go? Is it hard?
No, that's my life, man. I used to have spiral notebooks. I'll show you. I still have some today. I used to go in there at 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, and I would write down the comedian's jokes as fast as I could at 12 years old, even if they had curse words in them. And I would write in little X's how loud the audience laughed at the jokes. And I think it was Chris Titus's podcast like 10 years ago. And I said, oh my God, I wrote all your jokes down from a set you did in 1990. I was 14. He goes, no way. There's no way. And I literally went home, found the spiral, and I gave it to him. And he's like, you ranked the audience's laughter? I was like, yeah, man, I was 14. I'm whatever.
Oh my
God.
I
still have these journals somewhere. These are D&D journals, but I have them somewhere. But yeah, man, I grew up in those clubs. I love it. All those comics told me stories about my dad, good ones and horrible ones.
Right.
And they gave me an honest perception of who my father was, instead of the perfect one that my family tried to shape just to protect him and me and everybody.
And as you get older, you want honesty over some fairy tale of who your dad is.
I was getting it at 12, which wasn't always great. Like Bobby Slayton, who's like a legend, old school New York comic. He talks like this, saying he's been in a bunch of movies as like a character guy. And literally I was a sixth grader. And I think it was Paul Rodriguez was like, oh, this is Freddie Prinze's kid. And he goes, oh, that motherfucker never let me fuck a girl once in the club. He always took her from me. I'm 12.
And like, that's what you're saying. I'm your son, dog. Like, I was
just like, what is going on?
That's got to kind of fuck you up a little bit though, right, Freddie?
Sure. But only in the sense that it makes you grow up more quickly than anyone should have to. Right. However, all those things prepared me for the profession I chose,
right?
And the man I became, and the conversation we're having right now. Exactly. You know what I mean? Someone out there will listen to this and be like, son of a bitch, and click to something that they just heard. And then maybe it helps them, get back onto the path they need to be on. So it all happens. I'm not trying to be like hokey, but all this shit is preparation for moments, for just moments in life. All the hard shit is just preparation for moments. And one day, some poor bastard is going to be going through damn near the exact same shit, and you can help them suffer for a shorter amount of time than
Right.
you did,
Right.
which is a big win in life.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look at all this stuff. I know it's like an Eastern philosophy,
No,
but
fuck that.
what the hell, man? Bob Wall hung out with Bruce Lee. Like, I drank the Kool-Aid too, man.
Let's fucking Freddie Prinze Jr. Goat. The fucking goat, dude. Okay, I got 2 questions. I only have a couple minutes left. So, all right, first thing, I need to talk about, you're a loyal man. Do you think you've been with the same girl your whole life, basically, right?
I mean, I had a couple before her.
Yeah.
I wasn't a total virgin, bro. But yeah.
But Sarah Michelle Gellar, that's your squeeze.
20 plus years. Yeah,
So
man. 20 plus years.
I've never had a relationship before. What's your take?
Ever?
on- Ever?
Never?
I'm in a band. I've been playing
Look.
music for 15 years. Give me your take on how to keep a
Bro,
relationship.
there's a lot of married men that are very jealous of your life right now.
Well, we won't brag about it. We won't brag.
So we'll see who's winning at the end of this interview. It's going to be 50-50, I think. Look, man, the trick for Sarah and I, we were friends for 2 years before there was a smooch on the table.
Wow.
I had a girl, and she was focused on self. She was focused on her career. I didn't cheat on my girl with her back then, so she already knew what kind of man I was. I already knew what kind of woman she was. She knew I was a dork that wasn't going to grow up. She knew I played D&D and video games. I still play Call of Duty. I went 22-4 this morning.
Let's go.
Hardcore team deathmatch only. But she knew that going in, and she never judged me. She's not one of those partners that's like, why do you have to play video games all the time? Like, why would you want to be with someone who makes you feel shitty about things you love just because they can't be responsible for your joy? Like, how selfish is that?
Totally.
And I have friends in those relationships. I'm like, yo, he or she is just pissed that they're not responsible for the 3 hours of joy you just received from something so simple, right?
Like Call of Duty.
Yeah. And for my wife, it's reality shows, man. Like, that's what she likes. And that's an hour where she doesn't have to think and she can watch someone else suffer for 60 minutes. And that's a great thing. All human beings need that. And I never go downstairs and I'm like, oh, your reality bullshit. Like, what kind of a-hole does that? Why'd you marry this person if you don't like what they do? So I got lucky in the sense that we knew each other's weirdness, and we knew each other's not even guilty pleasures, just pleasures. And we were friends first. And so there was no honeymoon period. There was no, I have to be my best Freddie so she'll like me. And then later down the road, I can be like, you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? So it just worked out. It just worked out that way. And we're always straight up with each other. We've had our fights and arguments to make sure that we are. Like, hey, you could have told me that. Like, I don't want people to think we're perfect. We've had those conversations where she's like, you asshole, you should have told me that. And I'm like, son of a bitch, you're right. I was trying to protect you and that was dumb. And I'm sorry. And I'll be more blunt next time. And vice versa. Like, that's happened. So, I don't want people thinking that it's an Instagram relationship where it's all holding hands and stuff like that. I'm sure she wants to kill me today. But yeah, man, I definitely have never worried about her wanting to trade me in for a newer, younger, better model.
Hotter
like,
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, she doesn't want the 2.0. She's happy with DOS. She still likes DOS.
Let's fucking go. I'll take that too. Freddie, you are fucking genuine as fuck, my guy. I love it.
And I can cook and she can't, so I'm necessary.
Well, let's fucking get it. And you have a podcast, WW Freddie, Wrestling with Freddie. I'm stoked that you're doing this. I mean, in a sense, you talk about not being a comedian, but like having a podcast is kind of like being a comedian.
It's my Uncle Ron, who we've spoken about, told me something about actors a long time ago that always stuck with me. He said, Freddie, storytellers cut no wood. Yeah. You'll never have a blister in your life. And that's what acting is. And if you look back in society, like the storytellers were a necessary part of old societies before movies, before TV, before any of that. It was hieroglyphs on walls and the village storyteller. And they would spin these yarns that would be an adventure of the person who settled this and how they got there and all the trials and tribulations they went through for all of us to have this. They didn't have to chop wood. They didn't have to stack rocks. They didn't have to do any of that stuff. Right. It's a good life. I'll be real with people. It is a good life. The only blisters I get are from jujitsu on gis. Like, I've never gotten one from acting in my life. So I love it. And storytelling, acting, podcasting, it's all the same. And working at that company, you get 1,000 stories to tell on the first day that you work there. That's insane. It was crazy. The episode I have coming out this week, I was legit running an acting class for professional wrestlers. Okay. I'm telling you, dude, listen, Vince said, Freddie, I want to show you a promo class. And I go, what's that? He goes, I'm going to teach him how to act. I go, you're going to teach him how to act? He goes, yeah, come watch. So I go in there and there's 40 wrestlers all sitting there. And he grabs this Irish wrestler who's still in the company named Sheamus, who I love. He goes, Sheamus. And this other wrestler, Wade Barrett. He goes, Wade, get up here. And they both have to stand in front of all their peers.
Right.
Okay. All the old school agents, the producers that help choreograph the matches, like the Arn Andersons, all the old school guys, they're all there. Vince is there. The director of the show is there. He goes, all right, boys, you're a dog. You're a dog. Now make me want to watch you fight. And bro, and the whole room goes silent. No one can talk because what the hell is that? What does that even mean, right? And and just to start this, backing up a second, he goes, I'm sitting next to a wrestler and Vince goes, now we're going to do this acting exercise. You got to give me a little razzle dazzle. It's the term he uses. The wrestler to my left nudges me and goes, what does razzle dazzle mean? Okay, so right away, we're screwed. So now they have to be dogs. It's totally quiet. After about 90 seconds, Sheamus legit says out loud on accident, I think I'm having an out-of-body experience. He doesn't know he said it. And the whole room is like, oh my God. And then it's quiet for another 30 seconds. And Vince goes, come on, damn it, you're dogs. And Wade, unfortunately, goes first and he growls. He goes, grrr. And Vince jumps up. He goes, not an actual fucking dog, damn it. No. And I'm literally like dying. And at the end, Vince goes, well, what did you think? And I was like, Vince, this ain't working, man. I'll go, let me take over the class. And I legit started doing the stuff that my acting class would do, like repetition exercises, improv exercises with like giant, 300-pound dudes.
Crazy.
And in the episode this week, John Cena interrupts the class one time because he didn't want me there. He didn't like it. It took me like 6 months to earn the dude's respect, which I respect. I'm cool with that. I don't mind hard work. And he comes into class and he just sits in the middle of it while people are doing a scene in between them.
Oh my God.
And so I have to, like a school teacher, say, John, can you come outside and speak to me, please? And we go outside and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And he goes, well, I think this is bullshit. And so he's going to challenge my whole like purpose for being there. Right now, he can't fire me. Only Vince can fire me. And Vince ain't going to fire me. Vince liked me. So I'm like, John, I go, listen, man, I go, not all these people can do what you do.
All right, you're on. Hey, Freddie.
Welcome back.
We're back.
So anyway, is that Denver's finest that I see floating in the
yes,
background
sir.
there? God
Denver's.
bless America. Okay, we're good. So I was running the acting class, and Cena comes in, and he sits right in between the two wrestlers that are doing their scene.
Yeah,
and to me, it's completely unprofessional. I get why he's doing it. He's basically just checking me, right?
Right.
And so I get up and I say, hey man, we need to step outside. And the whole room's quiet. We go outside. I'm not going out there to fight him.
Hell no.
But we need to have a conversation. He's built like a brick truck. Jiu-jitsu only does so much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, exactly.
He can pick me up and literally put me in orbit. So I'm not trying to fight the dude. So I go, hey man, you can't just be walking in here and doing that. And he's like, well, I think this is bullshit. I don't even know why you're here. And I look at him, and it's a moment. These are all, every time conflict is good. And in the modern era, we don't have to have it because we can mute and block people, and social media is so negative that people just they think all conflict's bad and you're a bully. But conflict is how we solve just about every problem in the history of this planet.
Totally.
So I've never been one to shy away from that. And I think it's good. So, pardon me. So I look at him, and again, it's a moment. I say, hey man, I could be a jerk in this situation, but I don't want to be. So I say, hey man, look, no one in that room can do what you do, but you either can't or you won't take the time to help them develop. And that's why I'm here. So you're going to let me do my job, and I don't want you interrupting this again. And he's not cool about it, but he's somewhat cool. And he says, well, maybe I'm just a Neanderthal about this. These are his words. Maybe I'm just a Neanderthal about this, but you can either do it or you can't. And I say, I'm not arguing that, brother, but I'm here to get them as close to what you can do as they possibly can. And he kind of just, whatever, and walked away. And he did not like me at all. I think he called me I think he called me like Ashton Kutcher or something like that, right? Like something. It was a long time ago. I don't remember. JBL called me Scooby.
Oh my God.
So, come here, little guy. Come here.
Is your animal?
He's one of them. We got 3 dogs, 2 gigantic ones and 1 little guy.
Oh,
who
cute
thinks he's
as fuck.
gigantic. So I talked to Vince, and he goes, "I heard you had a little conversation with John," and he's already like laughing, right? He loves conflict. He loves.
I know.
it when
He lives off
fight.
that
Like,
shit.
Yeah. So I go, "Yeah, we worked it out," and he goes, "You think so?" And I'm like, "Did we not? Like, what's going on?" He goes, "No, all right." So for the next, I'd say 3.5, 4 months, John is not what I would call professional, right?
Yeah.
And then I did a segment with some of the younger talent, one of the talent that was in the room when he interrupted, and it was an in-ring promo, and I love in-ring promo. I really didn't, I got more credit for my behind the scenes, like the backstage stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't like backstage segments. I think everything should be in the ring.
Right.
So this guy's in the ring, I'm in Gorilla, John's next out, so he's in Gorilla, and he looks at me and he goes, "Hey man, that was a good segment." And this is a moment, right? This is another moment. This is
finally
about,
put his shoulders
and
down.
so I have to decide, am I going to be professional and be like, "Hey man, thank you, I appreciate that," or am I going to be a dick? And I was a dick.
I remember that time, Cena.
I looked at him and I just go, "Yeah, whatever." And I went right back to the monitor and no sold it. And I don't regret it because it makes me laugh, you know? And I know he didn't care. Like, he's John friggin' Cena.
Yeah.
But I always remember looking at that and going like, Freddie now would tell Freddie then, like, "Hey man, be professional." Like, he finally came around, and then you deaded it by like being the guy he wanted you to be the first time he met you.
Yeah.
And then the younger me would be like, "You know what, old Freddie, fuck you too." So I don't know how it would go, but it was always a moment at that company that I liked because I learned a lot from it. I learned what kind of personalities they respond to. And we talked about alpha, beta, and omega personalities. An omega personality can thrive in that company because you're constantly trying to figure out what everyone's motivation is in dealing with you. Betas die there. They die. They can't get their stories over as a writer, as a wrestler, as anything, because it's not meant for that personality type. You can't seek others' approval before you decide how you feel and be a professional wrestler.
Right.
I don't think you can do it as an actor or a stand-up comic or as an artist in general.
Right. Exactly.
Most artists are beta personalities. So I don't know how they survive. Maybe it's why we all get screwed up on alcohol and in the 70s Quaaludes and whatever the 2021 Quaalude is, whatever makes people stop feeling or artists stop feeling and thinking, you know, it's such a double-edged sword. But the alpha personalities in that company are absolute monsters in the best possible form of the word, as in like the Universal Studios old school Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula. Like, they are monsters, and good and bad, you just deal with it because they're attractions. People want to see them. That's why I was so surprised when they fired Bray Wyatt. I'm like, yo, that dude's the last attraction in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
And he's a free agent. That's insane to me. But whatever.
And that's the thing. It's like you're learning. It's like the best producers, the Vince McMahons of the world understand how to get the best out of their talent and understand their personality.
I think they do. That's the hope. Now, look, he's fumbled the ball. All right. They fumbled the ball. There's a wrestler that just left the company they called Karrion Kross. And he was on their show NXT, and he looked like an ex-NFL linebacker, shaved head, no shirt, monster, had an evil chick with him. It was like Randy Savage and Evil Elizabeth. Evil Randy and Evil Liz, basically. And they brought him up to the main show, the Monday night show, and they put him in like red suspenders and like a porno gladiator mask. And 2 months later, they fired him. It's like, yeah, no shit. Yeah. You had a killer and you turned him into a clown.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think's going to happen? But I don't get mad at wrestling. It just inspires me to work hard so I can start my own wrestling brand and hire all the people they fire.
Exactly. And that's why you got a podcast. WW
Right,
Freddie
brother.
is part of the iHeartMedia's My Cultura Network. Freddie, you're the man. And I hope
Thanks, bro.
Stay
Appreciate
hot,
it.
stay fucking inspired, have an amazing life. And I got one last question. I'll let you go. What do you want to be remembered by, Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Nothing. Man, people can forget if they want to. I've never worried about that. What people think is out of my control, man. Like, my godfather taught me a long time ago, you're in control of two things: your actions and your reactions to other people's actions. And that's it. So however people want to remember me, if it's good, bad, or indifferent, or if they just want to, move on until the next guy that looks like me comes along, that's okay, man. I've never been like, I hope they remember me for being a good guy or being able to cook or being in Scooby. Like, that's never been, all human beings are much more than what we remember them for. Yeah. Like, I remember my dad for certain things. Other people remember him for other things, but he was much more than both sides. Like, I'm not right, and neither are they, because he was much more than that. And we all are. You are, me, everybody. So, however people want to remember, that's cool. And if you don't want to remember, that's cool. Do your thing. Go get a sandwich. If you want to remember me, name a sandwich the Freddie.
Freddie, I'm doing it.
That's how I want to be remembered.
All right, done.
Let me be a sandwich one day.
Your legacy will be a sandwich, Big Daddy.
That's right.
Freddie, have a great day, man. Keep inspiring people. I'm really stoked you're doing a podcast. I mean,
thanks, man.
You're a smart dude, and like to hear both sides of the story is, what all fans are looking for. So keep
appreciate it, man. Thanks for giving me the time. I appreciate it.
Always, bro. Anytime, man. I'll be on the lookout for you, buddy. Have a good one.
You got it, man.
Later,
cool. My dog says peace too, man.
Peace, dog. Bye, buddy. Later, dude.
His name is Franz.
Oh, later, Franz. Have a good one. Later, buddy. There it is. Freddie Prinze fucking Jr. Let's go. Let's go, Mara. Booking big talent. Mara Davis booking big talent for the Frasco podcast. More to come. Guys, that was very inspiring. I'm just in awe, dude. I used to fucking love Freddie Prinze Jr., dude. Another guy who inspired me to, be in entertainment. I mean, I was watching his films when I was a kid, and then he just transitioned into, now he does wrestling. I didn't even know that he was he was super obsessed with, jiu-jitsu and stuff. That's just so fucking tight, and you never know. And the stuff, I didn't know that, he didn't really want to be an actor. Wow. That's crazy shit to me. Like you think like, oh, he was born to do this, but he wanted to just be a wrestler and do jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. So shout out to Freddie. Shout out to, Mara Davis for getting us big ass guests. Let's go. All right. I'll catch you on the tail end. All right. And we're back. Wow. Freddie fucking Prinze Jr. Let's go. Let's go.
What a dad.
Big show.
One of
We're
America's.
a big show.
Incredible.
Hey, we're a professional show. Delete that.
Delete what?
The fuck?
Delete what?
Delete the box. Let's have a logo up. Hell yeah. Let's go, Nick.
Oh,
We're
okay.
working. We're working this out.
Hell yeah.
Wow. I learned a lot in that interview. Freddie Prinze.
What a dad. One of
That's
America's
incredible.
greatest dads.
He's just a hot dad, just doing his thing, trying to feed his family,
Yeah.
like all of us.
Yep.
But my family's dysfunctional, like Dolav Cohen's in the fucking building. Ladies and
Hell
gentlemen,
yeah.
are you ready? Because we have sports with Dolav.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dolav Sportscast.
He's talking shit about the game. He's got a weird fucking name. In sports with Dolov.
Yeah.
What's up, Dolav?
What's up, man?
You're back in Denver.
Back, baby.
What are you doing here?
I came to
Yeah, what are you doing
go
here?
watch some sports with my boy Frasco.
I fucking love it. We went to the
Oh
Jazz
yeah, I
Laker
wasn't
game.
invited.
Bullshit.
I'm just kidding. I was invited. I didn't go.
We went to the Nuggets Lakers game.
Where they lost by 40.
Y'all
Wow.
lost by 40 points. It's very,
Hey,
very embarrassing.
It's not that bad. The Nuggets don't have their second or third best player either.
Shut the fuck up.
At least you have that.
And then we went to the Jazz.
The Jazz Nuggets game, and
Who won that one?
we destroyed
Yeah.
the Nuggets.
Jazz are well
and
over 500.
Talking mad shit.
Mad shit
so
to the
loud
whole
in
arena.
Denver.
What the hell?
He's like, you fucking pussies.
If you did that in Cleveland, you would get your ass kicked. If you
Yeah,
did that at a
the-
Browns game or something.
The security guy was like ready to kick me out.
Really? You
Yeah,
were that bad?
I had to calm down in the fourth quarter.
What's up?
For sure.
What's up with that?
You know,
Why are you like that?
because sports. I got into sports in college, and you got to get hyped. It's
No,
an
but I'm
American
talking
thing.
about the extreme energy.
Extreme
That comes
energy.
from somewhere else.
It's built up inside. I'm usually pretty calm. And
What's the craziest you've been at a sporting event?
I mean, that was pretty wild. I think I had like 12 homies with me. Frasco
What about like
everyone.
in Chico or something? Like, were you ever
Chico
getting lit?
didn't really have a sports team.
Chico? Is that where you're from?
No, that's where I went to undergrad. Chico State.
Oh, Chico State.
Party
What is
school.
it that whenever we hang out, we are just a fucking, it's a bomb goes off.
Just get me riled up. I don't know. The energy, whether it's a Frasco show or, just drinking.
You guys ever
and
tell
partying.
people you're
This
like
is my guy since fucking 6th grade.
Do you guys ever tell people you're like brothers or cousins? I think you could do it. I think they would
we
believe
could
it.
pull it off. At this point, everyone knows we're just best friends.
Yeah.
It's my dog. It's my dog. I love
Yep.
you too.
They
Clap
actually-
it up to best friends.
It's weird that why does Dolov sleep in bed with you when he comes
This is
over?
my Chip Lebowski. This is
Chip?
my Chip Lebowski,
Oh,
your
yeah.
best friend. What's his name?
Kit Solowski. Dumb. Wow.
Chip Lebowski.
I like that better. Oh
He's
my
talked
God.
about him a bunch.
Why does he
still
sleep
don't
in bed
remember
with you
his
when he comes over? He sleeps at the foot of the bed like a golden retriever. Like
It's
a
how
golden
we've always
retriever in
done it.
December.
We've done it like that
name.
forever.
Since middle school, we had small beds.
You curl
so.
up on the left side because it's closer to the fireplace.
Dolov. I think I've spent the most wasted nights with anyone besides my band is with Dolov Cohen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've definitely slept together.
Yes.
A lot of those nights.
Yeah, we had fucking
I'm gonna
hammered.
if someone cut that out of context.
So what's up in sports world?
Dolov was just. We have that video of him just talking shit, walking through the. And
After the game.
a fan comes up and hits you.
Yeah. Oh, you got to watch
Let's
this.
pull it
Put
up.
this
I'm
on. Dolov made a live sports from the game. Zoom into that baby.
I got
Oh
it.
my God. Look at Dolov. This guy's out of his mind.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports with Dolav, live on location
In the
Denver.
in the
we
Bell
just
Arena.
Beat the Nuggets. The Nuggets suck. They ain't shit. sorry. Utah all day, every day. Gas Nation. I'm sorry. I'm doing a live sports cast.
We were not exaggerating. He's a monster.
Anyways,
fucking monster
Lakers
at
lost
these
last
games.
night. Frasco was bummed. They lost by 40. Utah, though, came into town, won by like 25 points. This is our fucking year.
Oh my
We're
God.
winning it.
The only
That's
Utah
it.
Jazz fan in the
It's
arena.
over.
I'm not even from Utah.
Jazz.
After he starts screaming
2020,
and spitting out the whole crowd, he finally puts on his
2022
mask.
champions.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. He finally puts on his
Had my
mask. After he's
mask
like,
off the whole-
fuck Denver. Some
whole
fuck
game.
this.
Some stranger
Fuck
touched
that.
your mouth.
Oh my God.
Dude,
Why are you like that? And remember, why are you a Utah Jazz fan? You're from LA.
I know. It just kind of happened, man.
Like, it's so cool to be a Lakers fan unless you are from outside of LA, then you're a dork. If you like the Lakers, if your favorite team is the Lakers and you don't live in LA and grew up there, you're a dork. Okay?
What about me?
Get a life.
I'm a
No.
transplant.
You grew up
but
there?
you grew up
I grew
there.
up there.
Yeah.
Grew up there. I have no
What are
excuse.
you talking about? You're not
I don't know, some people give me shit like, you're not in LA anymore.
No, it's about where you grow up. It's about your
Yeah,
childhood.
exactly.
Idiots. Wrong.
Yeah.
If you're a Lakers fan and you live in like, where? Name a place. Alabama, you're a dork. Okay? You suck.
Well, they don't
There's
have
a meme.
team,
There's
you
a
know?
meme like when the Cowboys lost.
Yeah.
And there's like, don't
people.
worry, we still got the Yankees and the Lakers.
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
fucking-
Yeah, exactly. 49ers are kind of like that. But why are you a Utah fan? Just
So I just didn't like watching sports growing up, and I kind of grew this hatred towards the Lakers. So when I
Okay.
finally got to college
LA
and started
kid.
watching sports, I was like, I'm not going to pick a team just because I'm from that city.
why did you pick a team that never wins anything? Why did
Well, the underdog, man. I'm an underdog myself,
fair
and they just stuck out to me. For some reason, their system, their style, it just
I like all the Cleveland teams.
yeah. And
All the way down
you're from there.
No, I'm from Indiana, but it's like an Ohio family.
Yeah,
Dolov-
neighbors.
It's a family disease.
Have you seen Dolov used to wear these like suit sucker suits? The
Seersucker?
seersucker, all yellow. The Dolov pull up that picture. Give Nick that picture.
My prom. pick.
The prom pic of me and
What's your
and
favorite
Dolov.
like football team?
Oh, not the prom one.
What's your favorite football?
Steelers.
Ugh.
Steelers, because again,
Baseball?
it was
Yellow.
baseball. I guess the Dodgers, but I'm not really a baseball guy.
Yeah.
Hockey?
Kind of the Penguins because of the Pittsburgh connection.
Are
Not
you
really
a Kansas State fan because you went there?
Yeah, so Kansas
Oh, yeah.
State was my.
You went to
college
Kansas
team.
State and Chico State?
Yeah, both Wildcats. Shout out
He
Wildcats.
used to come to
Manhattan.
my shows in Manhattan, Kansas. I got arrested one night.
You know who else went to Kansas State? Matt from the Floozies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah,
airdropped
I
it.
saw them.
He
I saw
airdropped
them
it.
in.
Look at this photo.
This isn't the one of both of us. This is another one.
Look at this fucking photo, dude. This is insane.
Oh, God damn it. I haven't used it on my computer yet. Oh my God.
So that's from prom.
Holy shit.
That was my hot ass prom date.
She was a babe, dude.
Wow. What's she doing now?
She's married and into QAnon.
Oh.
So I'm glad I dodged that bullet.
Wow.
You look like you got your suit from the Dumb and Dumber set or something.
Dude, I went with my mom to downtown LA and we searched every fucking place in the fashion district to find the right yellow. I couldn't find it in the last place we looked.
Yellow.
It was just, you know,
I can just
I
imagine
needed the
some
right yellow.
17-year-old kid. I need the right yellow for my prom tux.
Come on, Mom.
For my massive, gigantic prom tux. It's like a Magnum condom.
All right.
I still rock that suit sometimes.
So while you're looking at that, give me what's your sports weekly? We haven't even talked about it. We've just been talking about our childhood.
It's fun to talk about
I can't
Dolov.
find the
It's
other one.
interesting.
It's okay.
Bills won big. Football's back.
Yeah, my Steelers
Playoffs
lost.
are back.
Playoffs. Bills
Steelers
fucking killed it. Shout out,
What's
Bo.
the difference between Steelers? Yeah, shout out to Bo,
Bo,
dude. They're going places.
The Williams, the Buffalo
Joe.
Williams.
Bo is a big Buffalo fan.
Bo and Joe.
They looked
Bo and Joe.
They looked incredible. They didn't even punt once. Did you know that? They're still scoring
They had
right
like
now.
the perfect game, right?
Yeah, something like that. Josh Allen, it's because everybody was doubting him too. They're saying he can't win in the cold, and then he killed him in the cold. It was like 0 degrees.
Let's go. Okay, Josh Allen.
It was 0 degrees, by the way.
Oh God,
And
fuck all that.
Bills fans,
Insane.
when it's 0 degrees, they stay home. They don't go. Just kidding. They go even more insane.
Yeah, Joe Angel, our producer, was at the Bills games. He sent us actually some videos. You got to see these videos. What do you?
Here's
What
a
did he send
couple.
you?
Here, he's asking about Mac Jones. Here's 2 of those.
Mac Jones,
He's the quarterback for the New England Patriots, who they destroyed by like 30.
and he's just a kid. And these guys.
Guys, I got a podcast. You got any opinions about Mac Jones? Mac Jones is a fucking pussy! Fuck Mac Jones. What do you think about Mac Jones? Fuck Mac Jones.
I like that guy. The last guy's my favorite.
Isn't Mac Jones 19? These guys are like 30
He's
year
not
old
19.
men.
He's like 24 or 23. And in college, you go later. You have to play.
Oh, you have
play
to play a
college
couple years
football
in
more.
college.
Yeah, you can't just be like a 19-year-old.
Buffalo Bills fans are
Look at this.
so
Look at-
crazy.
look at
It's 0 degrees and they're just drinking outside.
Look at this one.
With
Dude,
like-
it's awesome.
What is this one?
I want them to win the Super Bowl.
What's this one?
Same thing.
What do you think of Mac Jones? Fuck up!
Fuck yeah. It's like
Heavy metal.
Just
in the
heavy
back.
metal at the fucking.
It's like
they
a-
blasted heavy metal. It was 0 degrees right before they're tailgating the game.
It's like a cornfield party in high school or something, but it's just even more rowdy.
Don't they do like the?
Here's the best thing of the weekend, though, besides the
What is
resounding
this?
win. It was the best table jump you'll ever. So they're famous for their table jumps.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where you broke your thumb,
I
right?
broke my thumb doing a.
Andy broke
fucking
his
tape.
thumb in Buffalo doing a table jump at the end of his set, which is hilarious in itself. But check out the form on this. This is the most beautiful table jump I've ever seen. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Wow.
That gives me
Pop right back up.
That gives-
Wow. I'm clapping to that.
that gives me the same reaction as the first time I looked at the Mona Lisa, or
Fucking Bills fans. Alcohol is a hell of a drug, dude.
it feels like a work of art. But look at him. He's like perfectly.
Play it again. Play it again.
Well, I wanted to find one.
It's just like Mickey.
Oh my
Oh my God.
Look how like there's just
Serious hang
he's
time,
almost
too.
perfectly flat, and then he hits it right in the middle of the table.
He's just a perfect.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
He should
you gotta
get a-
take some tips from this
He
guy.
should get an extra stimulus.
Oh, and he jumps back up like not
Right back
even
up.
hurt.
Oh, how drunk do you think he was?
Oh, wasted Buffalo drinks.
Dude, I
This
want to.
is so awesome. Look at that. Oh my God. What the fuck, dude?
This is so fun. Woo!
All right, for our audio fans, this is they're like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, go watch the YouTube then.
All right, we're gonna have a great day. We're gonna have a great week, right, guys?
We're all moving to Buffalo this
We're
summer.
all moving to Buffalo. Actually, I had a horoscope or like a star sign. They said I either have to go to Australia, like Perth, Hawaii, or fucking Buffalo.
That is so beautiful. I would pick Buffalo.
Just you
I
should
would
just
too.
move there, it said, or what?
It said that's where my energy is mostly involved.
They're all
involved
like
in.
near water.
It's cold as fuck though. I don't know if I can.
No,
handle
no.
it.
I just want to go to Buffalo for one summer and just be a Buffalo person for 3 months. Eat wings, hang out. Mikey
I'd love
Karuba's
to.
there.
Yeah, the gang.
Yeah.
Mike Gansert
Maybe I can get like a weekly at the Ironworks or something, you know?
every Tuesday with
Just
Nick.
talk. Me and Mikey could play some gigs.
So because Dolov's never here, we should actually have him do the inspirational
yeah.
speech
Oh,
to us.
yeah.
You ready?
Motivate them.
Let's
motivate
fucking
him.
do it. All right, guys. This is your time. This is your week. This is our fucking year. fuck COVID, fuck the Lakers.
Fuck yeah.
Nah. But have a great week. Show them what's up. Kick some ass. Take names. Don't let anyone stop you. You fucking got this. These boys got your back. We all got your back. If you need some, hit us up.
Yeah, we
Why
got
don't
your
you
back.
ask who fucking won that game last night,
Yeah,
baby?
yeah.
Lakers
No one
whooped
watched that
ass.
game. We were too
Suck my
tired.
dick from
We
the
were too
back,
tired.
Dolov. You're a hoe.
Jazz all
Fuck the
day.
Jazz.
We're doing it.
I don't
We're
like
winning.
either of your teams.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a
Cleveland's
great
all
week. Next week, we have somebody. I forgot.
What shows?
It's going to be great.
Hell yeah.
Goodbye.
Peace.